I'm Carolyn Joel Elva, and this is a first in a series of short videos about self-analysis, taken from my book, Proud to be Naked, Go Barefoot on the Road to Self-Discovery. The illustrations in the videos are by Myrna, Shoa. Analyzing your actions will help you to expand your thinking and develop a more philosophical understanding of your problems, and you'll see yourself more clearly. It's my hope that someone will take these ideas and run with them. Who I am now will hopefully be evident from what I have written. Who I was, what I did, where I studied, where I lived, with whom I lived, are all screen memories that are as shifting as the sands of Stinson Beach. 100 years ago, Freud and Jung created a revolution in how we identify, label, and handle our problems, and often who we blame. They studied themselves for several years, a bit like painters doing repeated self-portraits, because the subject is always available, and they keep seeing more each time. They called this self-analysis. At the beginning of the 21st century, I call it liberation psychology, because you go to the heart of every situation, and this fundamentally changes the way you think forever. The route Freud and Jung chose still influences our Western thinking. Our images and vocabulary are full of Freudian slips, Oedipal stories, Jungian archetypal images, and unconscious forces. Although self-analysis was good enough for them to uncover their inner selves without being taught, Freud and Jung decided to form schools where they taught students to become psychoanalysts for others. They turned their backs on self-analysis as a valid method on its own, and psychoanalysis as a self-perpetuating profession was born. Liberation psychology, using action analysis, returns to this early self-determination of Freud and Jung to find out for themselves. You learn skills which release you from taboos and ties that bind you to habits of thinking and behavior you no longer need. You learn to understand your part in everything you do most of the time, and know this is your choice to act or not to act. At this point, you accept what you find and change what you can, remembering the importance of time as an element in any equation. Once you've thought in this way and acted from this position of acceptance, a veil drops from your eyes and you can no longer not see. For example, when I know that my worries about the safe arrival of my child to her home have no effect on the outcome, I can't hold on to them. Letting go, I release her from my anxiety. She now has the choice to phone me or not. And I release myself from the pretense that I'm doing something when all I'm doing is feeling anxious. Analyzing your actions, making them conscious, releases yourself and others from unnecessary, habitual thinking and fears. There are as many ways to face or hide from problems as there are techniques to provide answers. So you may need information and want support occasionally from someone who's been down the road before you. But, like those dedicated researchers 100 years ago, you can do it alone, if you need to, enough. That's the key word. You can find your path fired by the energy and determination which drove Freud and Jung. Bearing in mind Jung's somewhat contradictory admonition that I only learn by sailing my own ship, I have a philosophical and creative approach of my own, which I will try to convey to you in this series of videos. Don't take my word for it. Experience the process yourself.